Yo, what's going on, people? This is Bunny Muffins. I have the patch 11.4 patch notes for TFT, so let's get right into it. As you guys can see here, this is a huge patch. Things are going to change up. Everything we knew from before, throw that out the window. We're going to find out what they did here. So, system changes, Lucky Lantern. Rolling into Club 2, DJ Ox, what ya up to? Loaded up with those dice, Dango's life looking nice. Target dummies all around, all these Lucky Lanterns astound. Edge cases swing games, but using them takes brains. So we're keeping them around for there's fun times abound. All right, so someone's been doing a little Jaxbox party pack here. But stage 3 lanterns, it's no longer possible to get 2 loaded dice or 2 target dummies. Stage 4 lantern, no longer possible to get 2 loaded dice or 2 target dummies. Stage 4 lantern, it is no longer possible to get 3 item components. So I don't know about you guys, but I've gotten double loaded dice before. I've never gotten 2 target dummies. I guess I never will. But if you guys have, let me know, because that's kind of cool, right? Like, overall, I think these are decent changes. Loaded dice gave, like, a lot of high roll compositions, even more high roll, so it was kind of like a weird mechanic. I think having it is, like, fun for the game, but if you get too many of them, if you get them when you're playing a specific composition, it's going to help you out a ton. So it is a little weird. It really does help the high roll people, in my opinion. 3 item components, they got rid of that. So for item components, it just really depends what items drop, because everyone gets the same items. So it's like a huge luck element, because either the items help someone out a lot or they don't help them at all. So I think actually dropping more item components is beneficial for the game rather than just dropping 1 or 2. So if they drop like 5 item components every time, I feel like that would be fair, because there's more chance to get like an item you would want. Just because everyone gets the same item. But I guess it depends on how you look at it. So Chosen, oh man, I would read all these rhymes, but I see Chosen used like 50 times. So, I did a rhyme there, rhyme and time. But yeah, so I'm going to skip this for now. TLDR, more choices for Chosens. Chosens will feel less chosen. Choose more Chosens throughout the game. All right. So Chosen base odds, 33% to 50%. Rolling odds for level 4, 60 to 40 at level 4 to 80-20. So you get a lot less rewarded for pre-leveling on stage 1-4, for example. Chosen bonus spell power is now lowered. Attack damage reduced and mana reduction reduced. So overall, Chosens are much weaker now, because these stats, they do mean something. They didn't mean like that much, but they did mean something. And Chosen bonus health reduced by 100 as well. In some cases, this might actually be a buff if it takes them at a Giant Slayer range. Fun fact there. But all right, so for Chosens, I like that they're reducing the stats. I just don't see why, when they started this whole set, why they didn't say, oh, let's just make Chosen a 1-star unit instead of a 2-star unit. Because hitting like a 4-cost Chosen, it's still going to feel amazing. Hitting a 2-cost Chosen early or a 3-cost Chosen in stage 3, it's still going to feel amazing. But if it's just like a 1-star, I think that'd be pretty cool. You get the extra trait, which is still a big power spike, but you don't get that like whole 2-star advantage, which is just absolutely nuts. That's just my take on it. I've been saying this since I heard about Chosen in the very beginning, but we'll see how these changes are going to go. Chosen base odds, this makes it more consistent in the early game, because a lot of times you'd be stuck without a Chosen on stage 2-1. Sometimes you just don't even see a Chosen by the time the game starts, and you're forced to like lose streak from there involuntarily. But hopefully that doesn't happen as much anymore, and yeah, I think the Chosen base odd change is going to be good. This level 4 thing is good too, because pre-leveling and getting like a Chosen Zed or like a Chosen Annie early game or a Chosen Pike, like any, pretty much, I'm naming off random 2-cost units, but like literally any 2-cost is going to be absolutely broken in the early game, especially during stage 2. And like they're lowering that a lot, so it's more rare, so that's good too. Traits are too strong. Something, man. I like what this guy's doing. I like what this guy's doing. The video's just going to take 30 minutes if I read them off, though, so I have to skip it. I'm sorry to everyone viewing this, but yeah, I'm going to try to keep the video shorter. Assassin crit damage is being decreased at 6 assassins. Interesting how they do that, because not too many people played 6 assassin, and Diana, I think she was the worst reroll champion. Assassin bonus crit damage is also being reduced at 6 assassins and at 4 assassins. Overall, I don't think these were necessary. No one really plays like 6 assassin Talon. Some people play 6 assassin Kayle, but like it's so rare that I don't think you need to nerf it. It's like one of the less played comps in the game. And so only people who do this are the Diana comps, and Diana, it's just like a top 4 comp. It's not really anything else. So I don't know why they did that change here. Brawler health, being reduced. So yeah, Brawler's pretty broken just because Shyvana was so strong and like so easy to play. You literally get a chosen Brawler, you play Shyvana, you throw some items on her, and then you just pray for set. There's not much decision making in that playstyle, or in that composition. So I'm glad that they did nerf it and tried to encourage people to try different compositions with the Brawlers instead. Cultist Supreme Galio now gets 40 more magic resistance. All right. Is that really going to make him good? I don't think so. Dragon Soul, blast damage 50% to 40%, max health. All right. So they're nerfing Dragon Soul, which I kind of like because even though they're not played that much, I think they're going to be played a lot more in this next patch because of all the other nerfs that I've heard about. Dragon Soul, spell power and attack speed is now being reduced also. All right, same thoughts as before. Divine, true damage, and damage reduction. So 2 Divine was way too strong, so I'm glad they're nerfing that. 4 Divine, slight nerf 2, which is fine. And I'm glad that they buffed or kept the same for 6 and 8 Divine, because I personally don't think there's much reason to go 6 or 8 Divine, even after these buffs. So I'm still going to stick to 2 to 4 Divine, but that's just me. Feel free to try things out on your own. Maybe 8 Divine's worth it, but the buff only lasts for 6 seconds, which isn't that long unless you have like a very strong like Divine spat unit, in my opinion. Elderwood, armor and magic resistance is being reduced at 9 Elderwood and 6 Elderwood. Same for the attack damage and spell power. This one's being reduced at 9 Elderwood. So a 9 Elderwood nerf, which is understandable. This comp was picking up a lot of steam towards the last week. So it makes sense that they're doing this. I know we haven't gotten there yet, but I hope they didn't change like Aurelion Soul too much, some of the other Elderwood champions so much, because I really hate when they nerf like 10 things about a composition, when in my opinion, you only need to nerf 1 or 2 things. So Warlord health being decreased, so 250, 500, 850 to 250, 400, 700. Warlord spell power is being reduced as well at 9 Warlord and at 6 Warlord. Now onto the champions. Diana. All right, so Diana nerf. Again, I don't know why they're doing this. Both her attack speed, her shield, and her orb damage are being nerfed. And again, like Diana, never really oppressive in last meta. You just play her, get a top 4, and get out. Like, whenever you play Diana, you're pretty much subjecting yourself to get either 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th place. Nothing more, nothing less. So I don't really think she was that oppressive compared to other hyper role champions. Fiora, pretty big nerf here because early game, she gets a lot of tankiness from this ult, and now it's reduced by a lot. Nasus mana is being increased. All right, good. Magic resist reduced, and his wither damage is being reduced as well. See, this nerf I understand because Nasus was pretty broken, whereas Diana was not. Nidalee's another broken one. Diana was not again. Bug fix. Fix a bug where the range calculation was adding 1 extra hexad. Holy cow. All right, yeah, that's. I'm glad they're fixing the bug because Nidalee was doing too much damage. I remember I'd have like a 3-star like Yasuo, for example, right next to a Nidalee attacking the Nidalee. She just chuck a spear point blank, hit him, and he'd die from like no range, and that didn't make sense to me. But I'm guessing that's going to change because they're reducing her spear damage by a buttload, but increasing the bonus damage per hex by a buttload. So someone feel free to do the math. I'll probably do the math after doing this patch review, but maybe it ends up being like approximately the same damage for like medium range champions, and it does more for longer range, but does less in the short range. That'd probably be a good change. Wukong crushing blow attack damage scaling is being reduced. So people did not like bonky konging. Yasuo striking steel damage scaling is being reduced as well. Yeah, Yasuo is a pretty good reroll champ as well. I don't think he was as good as Nidalee or Nasus, but he was still pretty good, so I do understand the nerf. And I'm glad that they're only nerfing him in 1 way, and they nerfed these other ones 3 ways, because guess what? Nidalee and Nasus were broken. Yasuo was just like pretty good, you know? But Diana didn't deserve this at all. So type F in the comments for Diana. Teemo hits my carry. There goes my Hail Mary. I rage like Tom and Jerry. But now I got Braum here. Maybe he'll tank a spear. Gonna get his cast off or end up like Mom's Stroganoff. Nautilus viable as more than a fable. Go ahead, pick him up as long as you are able. So Nautilus, I thought he was always pretty good. He gives some CC. You can't ask much more from a 2-cost unit. Braum, attack speed increase, so that makes him better for the Dragon Soul buff. So now he doesn't grief your whole team when he gets a buff first. So I do like that a lot. Mana being reduced. Not sure if he needed that. Braum was the tankiest 2-star Vanguard by far, or like early game tank by far. Nautilus armor being increased, magic resist increased, and his fabled shield damage reduction is being decreased as well. Teemo Spore Cloud Dart prioritization is now his current target instead of the person with the highest attack speed. This is a nerf, but at least it gives some counterplay. A Zed attack speed is now being reduced. So Zed, no one plays Zed, so I don't know why they're doing this. But maybe they did some testing and they're like, after nerfing all the other stuff, Zed became too strong, so we needed to do this nerf. Maybe that was the case, we'll see. But yeah, I didn't see too much Zed last patch. But again, since so much is changing, a lot of this is kind of like the global economy. You touch one thing and like there are so many unintended consequences. So that might be the case here. So like Zed might be too strong after like the Diana nerf or something like that. I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying that's true or not, but one change does affect the whole game, and there's a delicate balance. So maybe that's why they are doing this Zed nerf. For the tier 3s, Irelia Blade Storm disarm duration is being increased at 3-star Irelia, so that's not that consequential because no, I've never seen a 3-star Irelia. I've seen it maybe like once. Katarina Death Lotus targets now being reduced by 1 at 2-star and 2 at 3-star. Makes sense, she was pretty good. Total spell damage reduced as well. That doesn't mean anything because she's still going to kill everything at 3-star. Kennen Slicing Maelstrom is being increased in damage, so that's good. Kennen was a little like, he's really good. He's like sleeper OP, but he's not like going to carry the game single-handedly like a Katarina. If you compare the two champions, like I'd much rather have like a 3-star Katarina than a 3-star Kennen, for example. Not that 3-star Kennen's bad, it's just like not as great as the Katarina. Neeko Blooming Burst is being buffed. So they're buffing Vanguard Mystic. They're making, ooh, I like this one. They're buffing 2-star Neeko, so you're not as reliant on 3-star Neeko. I like that a lot. Neeko Fabled bonus multiplier is now being reduced. Okay, so the buffs and damage is being compensated by this, so they're less reliant on Fabled, which is really nice too, because if you don't hit the Cho'Gath, if you get Cho'Gath Curse, it feels really bad. Nunu Consume damage is now being decreased at level 3 and increased at level 2. So Chinese Nunu got nerfed, regular Nunu got buffed. Shyvana 750 to 700, lower magic resist, less burn damage. Yeah, Shyvana was pretty strong, so I get those changes completely. However, I don't like that they nerfed both the Brawler and the Shyvana, because maybe it's going to be too much of a nerf. Because, again, I don't think she was as oppressive as, like, 9 Warlord Nidalee and Katarina. So, for the Warlords, I do understand nerfing them, like, 10 times, but Shyvana, maybe just, like, a couple nerfs would have been fine instead of, like, 10 nerfs, you know? Olaf blocks 80... Okay, I don't want to read this. Aatrox's Infernal Change damage is now being increased. Oh, 3-star Aatrox is actually a beast. I played it once before. Maybe I'll upload the game. I have to find it in my like replay log, but it's really strong. You put like Gunblade on him. You put like some tank items like Dragonclaw. He's really, really strong. But no one ever gets him because who gets 3-star 4 cost? It's very rare. So it's like you should have like a dominating game if you get it anyways. Aurelion Soul being nerfed at 3-star. Again, that doesn't matter. 2-star and 1-star Aurelion Soul untouched, so that's fine. So Aurelion Soul is the same exact champion as before, so I'm actually really proud of Riot right now. They did not nerf Elderwood and Aurelion Soul at the same time. Props off to them. Cho'Gath armor increase. Cho'Gath updated his rupture targeting to be slightly less random and hits crowds more frequently because that's what crowd control is for. So if you guys didn't know, they're giving him Morgana targeting, which I think, don't quote me on this, but I'm like 99% sure it's like this. She targets 2 random units, then she uses her ultimate on the unit that has more units around them. So I think that's what they're changing Cho'Gath to, but if that is the wrong case, let me know down in the comments. Kayle Divine Ascension wave damage is being reduced at 2-star and 3-star. Understandable, Kayle was broken. You know what's weird? They only touched Divine a little bit, and then Kayle a little bit, even though Kayle was the most oppressive comp of last patch. So they nerfed 9 Warlord 10 times, no problem, but on Kayle they seem to held back, so I wonder what the reason for that is. Morgana Hollowed Ground damage is now being nerfed at 3-star. Alright, I've never had 3-star Morg, so that doesn't matter. Olaf Ragnarok cleave damage is now being buffed? Huh? Olaf Ragnarok now blocks the AD reduction debuff? Okay, this makes sense, but why are you buffing Olaf? He was strong last patch, you nerfed everything, and then you buff Olaf? I think he might be too strong. He might be too strong. They buffed Dragon Soul as well, right? Oh wait, no, they nerfed Dragon Soul a little bit. I don't know. I don't know about this Olaf change. Instead of playing only Aurelion Sol and Kayle, we might just be only playing Olaf next patch. Talon buffed. So Talon buffed at 3-star only, so that doesn't mean anything. Tryndamere spinning slash. I will say, though, that Talon might see play because everything else got worse, so maybe he does see play even though only his 3-star got buffed. Tryndamere spinning slash now looks for targets in a slightly larger range to spin towards. I'm assuming that's a buff. And his speed is increased, that's good. And then his mana, starting mana is up by 10. So no major changes for Tryndamere, which probably means, unless this targeting thing is really, really good now, it probably still means he's like not that great of a carry. He's still usable as like a secondary carry, but probably not as a primary one. Xayah Featherstorm being buffed at 3-star. They made a lot of 3-star changes. So they kind of baited us at the top when they're changing all the champions because they're buffing all the 3-star forecasts, which like don't really mean that much, you know. Like you get them in like 1 out of every like 50 games or something like that. Tier 5, high risk and high reward. Samira wins with gun and sword. Yeah, she really does. So Ornn artifact, winter hits until frozen is changed from 5 to 7. That's good because Eternal Winter was like by far the best Ornn item. Mana Zane Reaver, mana restore duration 8 seconds to 4 seconds. I think this is a buff because I think Mana Zane gives like 100 mana after you cast your first spell over 8 seconds. Now it's over 4 seconds. So I'm assuming that's a buff because you get the mana faster now. And I have heard that Mana Zane's like not that great of an item, but on paper it sounds really good. So maybe this actually makes it like statistically a good item also. Yone Sealed Fate now being changed so that he does like 1 billion damage at 3-star. He's buffed at 1-star. And for the Unforgotten damage, they're buffing the 2-star and the 3-star. I don't think Yone needed buffs, but this is a legendary, so shouldn't affect too much, right? Samira attack range being reduced. She's now 660 to 420. All right. Did they make a 420 joke in this? They did not. All right. So items. Stoneplate's been weak for a while. Components best left on stockpile. Shiv's in the same boat. Box item needs a power bloat. Oh, is this like Riot Bach? Or is it like the musician? All right, whatever. Deathblade, AD per stack, 20 to 15. All right, yeah, Deathblade was pretty OP with Runon's Deathblade combo. Gargoyle, Stoneplate, buff 15 to 20 per stack, which is really good for them. So this item is like really good on champions that are like some solo tanks. So if you're playing a comp with like only one tank, Set uses this pretty well too, because you put him in the front line. It's good. It's a good item for those champions. It's just situational, but if you buff it too hard, it just becomes the best tank item in the game, and then everyone builds it even though they're not solo tanks. So it's kind of like a meta-dependent item, because it depends if like the champions you're using can be solo tanked. Static Shiv no longer deals bonus damage to shields. Static Shiv can now critically strike. I like this change a lot. Static Shiv crits reduce the magic resist of targets hit by 60% for 6 seconds. I feel like this is a little counterintuitive, because normally you build Static Shiv on like a high attack speed composition, and most high attack speed compositions deal physical damage, but I guess since the item deals magic, on like Tristana, I could see this being a really good item, because her spell and now Static Shiv will be dealing a lot of damage. So maybe we could try something like triple Static Shiv Tristana. That'd be pretty fun to do. Static Shiv targets hit change from 4, 5, 6 to 3, and the damage is reduced a little. However, after you get like the first Static Shiv proc, like you deal bonus damage. So this damage, I think overall might be buffed then. Sunfire Cape now applies its burn every... I wonder how Static Shiv stacks. Does it reduce like 60% for every Static Shiv that you have, or is it only 60% once? If someone knows, let me know. Sunfire Cape now applies its burn every 2.5 seconds instead of every 2 seconds. This nerf will result in fewer enemies on fire as a cape needs slightly more time to heat up. Quicksilver now blocks the AD reduction debuff. All right, cool stuff, cool stuff. Bugs. All right, fixed a bug where critical... Oh, with all this like AD reduction buff, I wonder if Luden's Echo works on Morgana's attack damage debuff now. Because I'm not 100% sure if it worked on her before, but it seems like it doesn't, because Luden's Echo works on stuff that Quicksilver blocks, and Quicksilver didn't block the AD reduction debuff. So maybe it didn't work on Morgana before, but maybe it works now. But they didn't mention it when they talked about Morgana, so I don't really know. Now onto the bugs. Fixed a bug where critical strikes triggered by the Executioner trait did not stack Titan's Resolve. Fix a bug where combined orns don't give you a proper amount of progress towards making an artifact. Fix a bug where if your bench is full and you make a 3-star chosen, that chosen doesn't get benefits. What? That sucks. Fix a bug where Olaf could be kicked off the board by Lee Sin while Ragnarok was active. Alright, that's a great change there. Fix a bug where the boss did not trigger its true damage buff if set was healed to full by sources other than sit-ups. Fix a bug where Zilean wasn't properly deprioritizing summon units with Rewind Fate. Tryndamere Spinning Slash now runs through his attack flow. This applies effects like Static Shiv's bonus damage or Gwynsu's Rage Blade's bonus attack speed. And no consistent tempo can be found in reading the rhyming sections of these hip-hoppin' patch notes. Have fun trying to rap it. I dare ya, I double Nasus dare ya. Alright, I like these more than the jokes from last week or 2 weeks ago. Props to the patch notes writer. I didn't get a chance to read all of them because I don't want to make the video too long, but it was entertaining. I like that more than the jokes. The jokes last week were like a little forced and like, frankly, between you and me, not that good. Don't tell him. So onto the overview. So a lot of these changes, this graphic was like a scare propaganda, you know? They're like, we're changing everything, but then they like only change the 3-star forecast and they like buff them or nerf them in various ways, which honestly doesn't change the meta at all. Like no one ever plans to go for Talon 3-star, you know? Talon 3-star got buffed, but 1 and 2-star did not get touched. So we got baited pretty hard by Riot, no surprise there. Same for the Aurelian Soul, which isn't in this graphic, but we'll see a lot of changes still because Elderwood got nerfed, Warlords got big nerf because Warlord trait got nerfed, Katarina got nerfed, and Nidalee got nerfed. Diana got some undeserved nerfs in my opinion. Cultist buff doesn't really matter in my opinion. Braum got buffed when he was already good. Irelia 3-star only, Kennen 3-star only. Olaf got buffed, God knows why. If you are listening, let us know why. And Yone buffed too. Like, I guess maybe they looked at the stats and Yone didn't have like the best win rate or something like that compared to other legendaries, but I thought he was doing all right. He was good in like all the Adept comps, and Adept's always strong right now, so I just can't see why they want to buff him. I like the Stoneplate buff. QSS got buffed a little bit because of the attack damage reduction. What else here? Samira got nerfed. So I wonder how much the range nerf actually affects Samira, because the reason why Samira is good is you put a Deathblade on her, she jumps into your team and spins around dealing tons of damage, and the attack range, Samira is nerfed because she has less range now, so she'll have to walk more. Let's look at Sunfire Cape. Sunfire Cape, it was like one of the better early game items. I wonder why they only changed this item in the early game and not others. But overall, like, I'm pretty excited about this patch. The Chosen change is probably the biggest change of all. Now in the early game, you don't have your game decided at stage 2-1 if you didn't hit a Chosen yet. So hopefully that changes that. Now we won't feel as bad as passing on early Chosens as well. And the last thing I'll say is that I'm really curious about the Nidalee changes in terms of how much damage she gains and loses at which ranges. So it's like if she's throwing like a Hail Mary, maybe that one does the same or more damage. If she's throwing like a point blank spear against my 3-star Yasuo with Quicksilver Sash, maybe that doesn't kill him anymore. It shouldn't, at least from what I read down below. But we'll see how that actually plays out in practice. And I'll come out with the meta snapshot probably on Friday, and hopefully we'll go from there. I do plan on doing some coaching videos where I get coached by like a really high level player. And I'm also doing my unranked to diamond challenge on a different server. I haven't decided which server yet, but I'll do it soon. Right as the patch drops, I'll make a new account and climb from there, post some videos for you guys so you guys can get out of diamond. And apart from that, I'll see you guys later.